Hi, this is the video for Teacher Created's Decimal Addition and Subtraction Bingo. And I wanted to take a minute just to kind of show how I might use this game with my resource students. I'm a learning specialist, so I work generally with students who are struggling in math and to some degree. And I wanted to show how we use this game to just have really fun practice with addition and subtraction of decimals to the hundredths place, and also use it to reinforce place value. So this is the cover. I think in real life this is yellow, but for some reason it printed out blue. Sorry about that. And then here are some sample questions at the front. All of our products have the standards being addressed. In this case, it's a 5th grade standard to add decimals to the hundredths. And then we also have a note from the teacher, which just gives a lot of helpful tips and tricks for implementing the game. Not only helps for help for teaching the game, but also just good things to know about how to have it run successfully in your classroom. Here are the question cards. There are 39 questions, and I've cut them up for you just to kind of see what they might look like. So I just grab from the pile upside down, have students grab. They're also included in this game 30 different game boards. It's a little stretched out, but that's so we can get more on the page. And 30 different game boards means you can have 30 kids playing at the same time. And then they just all switch around with the next game. The three things I always hope to build when I play this game is place value, and the use of a money model for decimals, and then also the use of a number line for mental math. So these two are the mental math strategies, and this is what we're hoping to build as well for place value. So I like to start this activity by having students think about the difference. I usually don't write it first, and this is in the note from teachers as well. It's just the difference between this number and this number. And hopefully a discussion before you play would prompt students to think about how 3/10 represented here is a different value than 3/100. And I think this is where the money model comes in. It's easier to think of it as 3 dimes, which would actually make this equal to 30 cents. So if you think about this as 3 dimes, 3/10, or 30/100, that equivalence makes a little bit more sense, correct? And then once students kind of wrap their brain around thinking about this as pennies in the hundredths place here, then you can see how 3 pennies is not going to be the same as 3 dimes. Sorry, just move that over. All right, so that's a bit of how I might introduce this game. And then thinking about the money model throughout, I think, is helpful. So for example, a question like 0.75 minus 0.25. We could think about that as what happens if we have 75 cents and we take away 25 cents. Another question I think it's good is we could think of as either $2, or we could also think of as 200 pennies. We take away 105 pennies, and we have 95 cents left. Finally, the last thing that I use to build number sense, this is less a mental strategy, but more of an overall number strategy. Number sense strategy is using an open number line. Let's see here. So I'm going to start first with the questions. The question for here that we're going to go through is 5.25 minus 1.5, and you can see that it's got hundredths and tenths there. What I would do is start with an open number line. You can see here that I've written 5.25. I'm going to suggest that it would be easiest to subtract that 1 first. And I still need to subtract a half. Oops, I made a mistake. Happens. This should be 2.5. So I take away 1 whole from 5.25. And I still need to take away, if you remember the question, 0.5. So I'm going to start actually, because 0.5 is kind of unruly, I'm going to think about taking away 0.25. That gives me 4. That makes my life easier because I can easily think about what happens if I have $4 and I take away 25 more cents. And that gives me 3.75. Now, again, this isn't a mental math strategy, but I've seen students start with the open number line and decompose as they subtract, and it gives them a mental strategy to use to think through how the subtraction works. So I hope that this was helpful in implementing this game or even influencing you to purchase this game. I think it's been a really great one for my students to learn decimals to the hundredths place, and of course a lot of mental math strategies. I hope you check it out. There's a link in the video if you'd like to purchase it. And don't forget to follow and rate. I really appreciate all the feedback I can get. Thank you. Bye.